Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be comparing PayPal versus Stripe. Which is better for you in your small business, or no matter really what business size you are, which is the best payment processing platform for your specific needs. Of course, both of them are very similar in a lot of ways and different as well. Today, we're going to be breaking down the pricing, pros and cons, and really everything you need to know when considering whether you want to go with PayPal or Stripe for you in your business. And without further ado, before we dive into things, I do want to mention, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the comparison. So first, taking a look at PayPal, of course, we are specifically focusing on more PayPal for business compared to personal use. Of course, you can also use PayPal for personal use as well if you just want to send or transfer money. But of course, this comparison is more specifically relating to using PayPal for business and of course, utilizing PayPal to accept payments within your business, using PayPal as a payment processor. Of course, they have an online checkout. They have installment payments you can offer, invoicing, and POS systems as well. Now, quickly breaking down what Stripe is, of course, they are also a payment processing platform. However, Stripe is really only catered to businesses and accepting payments. They are a payment processing platform. Of course, they offer a variety of different products as well as online payments, subscription management, invoicing, checkout. So they have pre-built payments pages as well as their terminals for in-person payments. So they both offer very similar product offerings, really all of the same types of features within both Stripe and PayPal, at least just looking at if you're interested in, of course, doing invoicing, having an online checkout, POS systems as well. So really, they do have a lot of the same types of offerings. Of course, they do differ a little bit as well, which we will be breaking down in just a little bit. Now, overall, taking a look at PayPal first before we dive into Stripe and taking a look at where they are similar and different, overall, PayPal is more suited towards those of you who are maybe a little bit more beginner, more small business. PayPal is definitely easier to get set up with than Stripe, although both of them are fairly simple to utilize. I will say that PayPal is a little bit more beginner friendly. Of course, as you can see here, they have the online checkout, installment payments, invoicing, and POS systems. Their POS systems are available through their Zettle program with PayPal. And in addition to that, of course, you can set up online payments with PayPal. Now, personally, what I would recommend a lot of people do is you could even go with utilizing both platforms if you are accepting payments online. You could offer the ability for your customers to check out with PayPal. Say, for example, if you're using an e-commerce platform such as Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, maybe if you are, if you already have an online store or an e-commerce store, then it could make sense to utilize PayPal as a payment gateway or as a payment processor that you use in your online store, in addition to maybe a Stripe as well, just so you have more flexibility in accepting payments from your customers. That is one, of course, niche scenario, one example where it may make sense to use both if you are utilizing an e-commerce store and you're accepting payments online, so you can offer multiple ways for people to check out. Now, of course, if they are using PayPal, or if you do decide to go with PayPal, you can accept PayPal, Venmo, debit, or credit card as well with the online checkout features. Now, if you're going with point-of-sale systems, I will say PayPal does have more point-of-sale options with the PayPal Zettle program. If we take a look at Stripe in terms of what they offer with their Stripe terminal service, for in-person payments, it is a bit more limited, as they only currently have 2 point-of-sale hardware that they at least sell directly through Stripe. You may be able to integrate other hardware with Stripe depending on your setup, but it may be a little bit more work to get that all set up. Compared to with PayPal, it's a little bit more directly integrated in their platform. Again, because it is the Zettle program, PayPal Zettle is owned by PayPal, so it does make it a little bit easier to utilize their point-of-sale systems and hardware compared to Stripe. So Stripe is really mostly catered to and directly focused on those of you who are selling online. Stripe is also more catered to larger size businesses. They also have a wide variety of different developer tools as well if you really want that direct customization with your checkout process and your overall cart. As you can see, they have APIs. It's really well designed for developers if you do want additional customizations. And of course, you don't have to necessarily utilize those customizations if you want to use Stripe as a payment processor for your online store or any other way that you plan to accept payments, as you can see here with the variety of different ways to accept payments. But overall, Stripe does have more developer tools and just more flexibility with customizing your checkout and customizing your overall payment processing section, and it is better suited for a little bit larger businesses. Of course, you can use them as a small business as well, but it is just a little bit more beginner friendly with a platform like PayPal in comparison to Stripe. Again, Stripe does have a lot of developer tools, and it also has a lot of international options as well. Both Stripe and PayPal do have good international options in terms of where you can accept payments as a payment processor, right? If you're the seller, and where your buyers can utilize multiple different currencies as well. That's one thing that's nice about both PayPal and Stripe are international focused, and they do have a wide variety of different countries that they support, both on the buy side and the sell side. So for you as a business owner or as your customers when they're going to pay on your site or through your business. So both Stripe and PayPal definitely have good international options as well. It is worth mentioning because there are some other providers out there that maybe aren't necessarily as great for that. Now, of course, in terms of other selling options, you can sell, again, on site, like in person, or on a website as well, with either platform. Although I will say that PayPal definitely sort of caters best overall for selling in person compared to Stripe. It's a little bit more limited. Stripe really is more catered to digital and selling online through the internet and selling through maybe an e-commerce store or an online store like that. They do have integrations, of course, with a variety of different online store providers. PayPal does also have a variety of providers. As you can see here, they do have direct connections to different e-commerce platforms. Of course, these are e-commerce platforms that I do cover on the channel a lot, such as BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Wix, GoDaddy, or even Shopify as well. Do cover Shopify quite a bit on the channel here. Now, in terms of the actual pricing, realistically, both of them are fairly similar. If you do take a look at Stripe's pricing, each of them do have percentage-based fees depending on whether you're processing in person, online, if you're doing invoicing. Really, it's up to you to dig into the exact specific scenario that you may be using, but ultimately they're really fairly comparable when you're looking at the fees, and these are fees that you really cannot you can't get away with it or avoid them on really any kind of payment processing platform that you decide to go with. Whether you're looking at the fees with PayPal or Stripe, overall, they are fairly comparable and fairly similar. So it's not really necessarily something that is worth nickel and diming on or deciding which one just based on the fees. Yes, you may pay a little bit more with the PayPal payments transaction fee, which is something to keep in mind. Like, yeah, you'll pay a little bit more if customers are paying with PayPal, Venmo, PayPal, Pay Later, or any of these other PayPal specific payment options, which is something to consider. That is a more expensive option, but it is also nice to offer that flexibility for your customers, especially maybe if that's the only way that they could check out. And then you might lose a conversion rate if they're not, of course, purchasing. So it's sort of a trade-off there. You may pay a little bit more, but ultimately, you may have higher conversion rates. People more likely to check out with PayPal available at checkout, as you can see here, based on some of the stats and data that PayPal offers. So it is worth considering. In terms of the other fees, it is fairly comparable to Stripe in terms of processing other payments, such as credit card payments, invoicing, or billing, or other ways of processing payments at the end of the day. It is fairly comparable as well. It's really not something worth too much taking into account. at least if you're comparing the two there in terms of fees. Neither of them have monthly fees either, so they are free to get started with and get set up with as well, which is a nice benefit. Really depending on whether you're going with PayPal or Stripe, either way. Now, I will also say, depending on the size of your business, both of them do offer volume-based discounts as well. So maybe if you are processing a lot more transactions, if you're a business with larger payment volume or high-value transactions, they can offer you custom volume-based discounts on your payment processing fees and the pricing. So, of course, you can contact Stripe Sales. PayPal does also offer that as well. Again, for maybe the larger size businesses, they can offer volume-based discounts. So that is something worth considering and worth looking into if you are processing a lot higher volume. But if you're smaller volume, realistically, they're fairly comparable at the end of the day between the fees on PayPal versus the fees on Stripe. So again, it is worth mentioning that they do offer volume-based discounts if you process more payments. At the end of the day, between PayPal for business and accepting payments with PayPal versus accepting payments with Stripe, both of them are great options. Again, you do have more developer tools, and Stripe is more catered to processing higher transaction volumes overall than PayPal. PayPal is a bit more beginner friendly. So maybe if you're a smaller business just getting started, PayPal definitely is easier to use. A lot of people already have PayPal accounts. And again, even if you are an online store, you could opt to offer both, right? You could accept payments with PayPal, utilize PayPal as a payment gateway on your e-commerce store, or also offer Stripe as well. Again, if you're selling in person, maybe it's a little bit better to go with the Zettle program with PayPal, but Stripe still does offer their terminals as well. So that is something also worth considering. But at the end of the day, both are great options for processing payments for small business and in your business as well. So I hope you guys found this comparison helpful of PayPal versus Stripe. Which is best for you? It really depends on your business's specific needs. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.